So it's been pretty much the busiest week I've ever had in the development of Hydroneer, and it's been a really, really good one. Possibly the best week that I've had with development. And that's because we're coming to the Steam release, and some really exciting things are happening. I was contacted earlier this week by a guy called Muzzleoff Plays, and he's a Russian YouTuber, about 650,000 subscribers. And he asked if he could have a build of Hydroneer and do a gameplay video. Obviously, I said yes. And he made a really cool video, and we got a lot of Russian users to play Hydroneer now. They're a really, really nice group of people. I really like all of them. And we've also got Russian translation in there as well, made by one of the community members, which was really helpful. So with all these new Russian users, I wanted to release 1.0 early. I figured the version that we were on at that point was 0.7, that was last week. And I had 1.0 just ready to go, so I thought I'll just put it out there. And then some of the users could be straight onto that version. So that went really, really well. I think I've done 7 updates now, just kind of patches and some quality of life things as well. So let's step back in time. So Muzzleoff put his video out at the start of the week, and that's got 42,000 views right now. Next, what happened was a guy called Play at Home released a video. He picked up the video, I think he saw Muzzleoff's video and then asked me for another key. He's got a smaller audience, but still a pretty good one. He's a Russian guy as well. And that video is on about 20,000 views right now, but then at the same time, Muzzleoff put his video out, which was now, I think, is about 28,000 views. So you got both of these videos coming out, and that really helped get me a lot more wish lists. Now, as a developer, wish lists are crucial for me. Basically, when I sell the game, I want a lot of people to be buying it all on day one, so then it gets boosted up onto the top selling pages. So that's why, I've got quite a lot of people looking at the game right now, but I haven't started to sell it. I need to get those wishlist numbers way up, and having YouTubers playing the game is pretty much the best way to do it. So right now, my wishlist numbers are really high. Here's a graph of what they look like right now. You can see on the left side of the graph, there's a slight uptick. Now, purposely, I've kept some numbers out of this just because I don't want to reveal all my secrets, but you can see that there was quite a lot of wish lists added in the first 2 weeks. There was one uptick that I think is because I put loads of tags on the game, and that really drove those numbers up, but that is nothing compared to what you see on the right side of the graph, which is recently. Now, these views are purely because of all of the YouTube Let's Plays that's been happening. So I took a look through some more of these figures, and I've got an insanely high click rate, like really, really high. Now, this is basically whenever you see a little capsule of the game on Steam, and that is what we call an impression. Now, if you click it, then it becomes a click-through, which means the caption has been put onto someone's store page, and then a user has clicked it. That's a click-through rate. Now, generally, these would be maybe 5%, 6%, something like that. Mine is over 55% for the last week, and I have no idea why. I guess a lot of people find the capsule interesting and want to check out more. So moving forward, what am I going to do now? Well, I've put it down into 3 stages. The first stage, I'm going to just rustle up some YouTubers, start outreaching to a lot of them. So what I've done is I found some people who are making gameplay videos of similar games, and then just sent them emails. In these emails, I briefly described what the game was about, and then asked if they wanted to check out the game and make a YouTube video of it. This is pretty much the best way. I did quite a lot of research into finding out how to make the perfect email, how to keep it short and brief, but also make people want to actually play your game. So step 2 is to contact people from the press, and this is kind of just news outlets, things like IGN, I guess. And the reason I put them second is because if, let's say I contact IGN and they Google Hydroneer, it'll be really good if they can see all these gameplay videos that people have made of Hydroneer. Then they might write an article about Hydroneer, so it'll probably be better to hook them in that way. So next, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do quite a lot of research into how to create a press kit, and how to really get the press involved, and which outlets to actually choose. And then lastly, what I'm going to be doing is taking some of my own money that I've worked up, so that's from Patreon money, money working at the bar, and I'm going to be sending out quite a lot of advertisements. So what's my plan after all this marketing? Well, I actually want to release Hydroneer 1.1. This is going to be loads of features that people have requested. I want to put in some new building parts, maybe even a new vehicle. We're just in the early planning stages of what's going to go into 1.1, but I really wanted to continue the development of Hydroneer even after we started selling the game. So what I want to do in the future when I start moving away from Hydroneer and onto other projects, I want to start to improve the quality of the Game Dev Weekly episode. I'm going to get a fancy new camera instead of using this one. I'm not moving away from Hydroneer just yet, but I have been working on a very impressive technical prototype. Now again, I've mentioned it a few times, but I can't really go into too much detail because I don't really want to spill the beans too much. But it's really impressive technology. It's going to be an MMO game, kind of like a World War II thing with base building as like a core mechanic, but also complete world destruction as well at the same time. So keep your eyes peeled for that one, and maybe that's a reason to stick around on Patreon, because eventually that game will be on Patreon just as Hydroneer was. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. A big thank you to all my Patreons, both the present ones and the new ones. Got quite a lot of them now, and I think we've actually got 2 pages that you're seeing on screen right now. So thank you very much guys, and I will see you all next week.